it's girly power. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting New York Football Giants taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game. Third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Let's go NY.
The scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. Now it's Hines. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now. It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them. This is Hines. And he's got this one down to the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front. We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here. I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far. Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. In for the score. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, LA. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Zerline connects on the extra point. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
12. 76, tell him. 76. 76.
Now Goff on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
WTF.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue landing.
My oh nice.
Run with Hines. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all all day long to get out here and take off.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. And time is up. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Here we go now.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
They get 14 yards there and a 1st down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting them in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it.
Right, here we go.
Play action and take your shot at the end zone.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
Here we go. Ric Flair.
Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
48, Mike. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. Cordell. 48, Mike. 17. Hey, alert 48. Hey, we don't like the 48 right now.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On first down, it's Gurley. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Hey, lift!
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Starting left here. 4 down. Alert.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10.
Shell. 5.
Now a first down throw. Gone. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Value 3. Everyone's got 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Starting left here. Let's go, 12. Let's go.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Rams are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
to throw now on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Rams have got it back. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Tight ends right. Tight ends right. Hardball. 4 down. Super. Check. Hardball. Check. 53.
Following the fumble recovery, Goff. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
3 down. Alert 16. Alert. Jester. Check 52. Hardball. 12. I'm coming after you.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Out to the left here to Reed. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Zerline's kick is good. So we come upon halftime here in... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he powers his way up past the 30. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Shell. Hey, 5.
From the gun, here's Goff. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, lift.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Yep, 20. 76, tell him. 76. Go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Zerline good with a PAT, and the lead now stands at 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They run again for Lions across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball,
All right, here we go.
and that way you often control the game.
They'll set up the throw. It's caught. Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Rams have got it back.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
76.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, lift, 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 lift.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hold on. Check.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
4 down. Hard ball. Check. Zula. Check. Hard ball. Set.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
76.
On the handoff, it's Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Here's Gurley. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Hey, 5. Maverick. Mike. Kill.
Goff on third down. The quick slant caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Shell.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Go, 12, go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Rams add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as
Here we
well.
go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run for it with Hines. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go. 76. 76.
Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Again they run with Gurley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
5 down. Stand up there. Check. Let's go, 12. Let's go.
He'll get it up the middle. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Rams add on to their lead. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for L.A., it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll look to get back in